Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry. Good morning, Samantha. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
We're good. We got some blustery conditions, but a fast main track, firm turf course. We've got the all-weather Tapeta today, and we were just both trying to figure out which way the wind was going. And it was an interesting. Our cameraman Dennis helped us out a little bit. So it's out of the northeast. It's just blustery today. It's not going to affect anything, I don't really think. But what is going to affect your pocketbook is the $700,000 gross jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six.
Yeah, it's a huge pool. It will continue to grow as the day goes on, so make sure to get involved. It paid pretty nice yesterday as well.
Yeah, $2,900, and there was a bunch of tickets left at the end, and the big favorite, that's what caused it, that big favorite getting beat in the last race. So we're going to try and not do that today with our tickets, but we're going to start today on the turf. We've got lots to get to. It's going to be about 7.5 on that firm turf course. Maiden claiming fillies 4 and up, $20,000. Scratch the 1, 9, and the number 13. Brian put an early pick 5 ticket together, so we'll check it out and see how he did. He went 4 deep in here. I think Cappy's the one to beat, but he also used the 2 Lynn Pier. See how that plays out. We'll talk about that race in a moment. He's singling, battling Bubbles in the second. Right back with another single with Cavallo in race number 3. Lots of coverage in race 4 and 3 in race number 5, and he's using Royal Mahogany, Ubiquitous, and I think the 8 horse in there. Yeah, so $30 for Brian's tickets in the first race. And I don't know who you picked on top. Did you go with Cappy?
I did, yes.
So he's dropping to the 20 level. Looks like a logical choice in there.
Yeah, it really does. And Mark Cassie, this is a horse that's making her second start off of shipping here from Woodbine, a little bit of a layoff for her as well. So I think that with Irad Ortiz getting the call, this should be a live horse.
Irad could win 9 races today if you will on some of the horses he's running. Guys, show you a stat on Mark Cassie. 50% drop in claiming price on the turf. He's good. He's 6 for 29, 21%, 34% in the money. So he either wins or, that's it.
Yeah.
And 174 is the return of investment. As I mentioned, I threw Lynn Pier in second. Is turning back just a little bit. Rallied to finish second to that repeat winner, Sunatra. I know you liked one day. Well, you liked the name, that's for sure. Going a mile at this level last time out.
Yeah, and this is a filly that I just don't trust. Run 0 for 18. That's kind of hard to play, so I just faded her completely, which naturally that means she'll probably win today.
What'd you see with the number 10 out for a run?
Yeah, this is a horse that Chris Davis has actually been firing pretty hot as of late. I think that on the little bit of a stretch out here, this is a horse I think that looks more like a 2-turn filly, and she should suit it.
Yeah, she's stretching out today, and Chris has you right. He was struggling a little bit in the beginning. He's a great guy. Talk to him almost, every day we see him going back and forth. But, he'd turn it around. He does a good job. Race number 2 this afternoon, about 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. Maiden claiming filly 3-year-olds, 16,000. Scratch the 3, My Insanity, and the number 5, Annabella Princess. And this is where Samantha has her early pick 4 ticket.
I do, and I kind of reversed this a little bit because I've been singling a favorite to start off the second race. I'm going to toss the favorite here, go with everybody else except the scratches. In race 3, the number 2, Irony, is my top pick in that Tapeta race. In race number 4, the 6, Ticking, is my top choice, a half-brother to Harper's First Ride, who was pretty big in Laurel. And in race 5, I'm going to single with the number 2, Ubiquitous. You could go a lot of ways in race 5, but this is the one that I landed on in the dartboard, $30.
Yeah, that's Bill Theranos and Irad Ortiz Jr. in there. And Brian single in here is the horse I had on top, and that's the one you're fading in here. And that is the 9, Battling Bubbles, who's stepping up to the 16 level. After rallying late, finished second. It was against those, maidens going a mile in the 16th on the all-weather surface for Jeff Hiles. And I think he finds a perfect spot where this horse, it looks like it's a logical spot for this horse. He's going to take all the money.
Yeah, he really will, and live or die by him, I think. This is a filly that, this is just her second or third start, I should say, on the Tapeta surface, but second time stretching out on it. And, she could be the one to beat, but I just hope there's a little chaos.
And the number 1, Dixie Groove, is where you went. And I added this horse a little further down on my ticket. Drops and returns to the Tapeta today.
Yeah, that's the huge key here is she's returning back to the Tapeta and getting a nice little class relief.
Then number two beer Buzz, I like the name of that horse, is another returning to a competitive level on the all-weather. Counted trouble at the top of the stretch against those 25 maidens on the grass. The daughter of overanalyzed gets second-time Lasix for the surface switch. It's a wide, you got to do it exactly what you did. Either you got to go with the 9 horse or go deep in there, because after the 9 you start finding angles where horses might run well.
Yeah, exactly.
Race 3 this afternoon, about 5.5 on the Tapeta starter. Optional claimant fillies, 3-year-old started for 35 or less. So that same tag. 7 horses in the field. Start with your horse in here, and that is the 2 Irony.
Yeah, and this is a race where a lot of these horses are coming off of a Tapeta win, and I'm trying this new thing where I'm not playing Tapeta winners back to back. And in this race, that was really hard to pick everybody, but I think this filly. I think that it was a really tough race last out for her, and she just really didn't fire, but that was on the turf here. She's getting back to the Tapeta. Ronnie Spatz, Junior Alvarado, I like the way these two team up together, and I think that this is a solid chance in a wide-open race.
Yeah, and if you do go back to those Tapeta races, she was very competitive, right with this level of competition, so tried the turf a couple of times. The inside horse, Cavallo, goes to the Billy Thoreno's barn after the claim, steps up the competition after rallying late, was the favorite that day to win her 16 debut, going 5.5. I read Ortiz Jr. in the saddle today. Looks like a logical contender in there.
Yeah, she does. And this is one where Irad just set up that race perfectly for her. He didn't chase the speed there, and there was quite a bit of it. They were zipping 22 and 45 for the quarter and the half miles. So she'll get the same speed today, and Irad has a good post position to sit off of it.
One other horse I have some interest in is the number 5 Musical Journey. Will try and make it 2 in a row after a solid debut victory. She dueled throughout, and she was game. She held sway. She defeated those 35 maidens. Carlos David, he's 21% winning consecutive races. Edgar Zayas in the saddle.
Yeah, and that's a nice little angle as well. And Carlos David is good at keeping these fillies in a nice condition, so I think that she will be tough here. But coming off of a win, hasn't faced winners yet.
Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon, and this one is 7 Furlongs maiden optional claimer. 3-year-olds, $50,000. If I could turn the page, would be very nice. Stuck together here. No scratches, no jockey changes. 10 in the field, and I know that you picked the number 6 ticking in here. I think you got a video you want to show?
Yeah, I do. This is of the OBS April sales work here, where $675,000 was the price tag. Bolt Dioro colt. I love the way he strides out. It's a massive stride here. Going to make his second start, so I understand why off of this work and that price tag that this horse went off at almost even money on debut. Went to the bench for a little bit, but I think that it's there. It just is going to take a little bit for this horse to figure it out.
Yeah, just one of my favorite guys over the years, Eddie Plesa Jr., is the trainer in 675, and you can see why. Getting Lasix today, too, so maybe that was a key to this horse running well. I like that pick by you in there, and that one on the line, the number 6 is 8-1. I did go with the 7 Power Yuma, who's stretching out to 7 Furlongs. Lasix added today after chasing the pace and finishing an improved third. I like the progression from one start to the next. That was a productive 50,000 maiden optional claimer that produced a trio of next out winners from 6 starters, just at the level of being a monster key race. Arad Ortiz Jr. Arad better have a good day for my picks.
Yeah, no kidding. Otherwise, you're in the hole here. But, yeah, this is you talk about the progression of the numbers in these races, but also getting the stretch out now, too. I think that will help this horse a lot. He just isn't really a sprinter, so he's getting that extra furlong, and it should play very well for him.
The number 9 Dream Knight in for the $50,000 tag, because this one is a Kentucky bred. These are maiden option claimers, but you have to be a Florida bred to run for no tag in here. And this one ran okay for Safi.
Yeah, he really did, and that was going 2 turns as well. Now getting to this 1 turn, which I think will be his just kind of ball game, and Lasix for the first time.
And they drilled him a 59-3, half mile work, a 5 furlong workout into him, so to excite his speed, we'll call it that, or something like that. So that is race number 4. Let's go to race number 5 on the Tapeta, and this one is 5.5 furlongs about distance. Claim is 4 and up. Non-winners of 3 in life. 12.5 down to $10,000. I'll kick it off in here before you go. Well, let's go to yours because you pick Ubiquitous and you got also the horse in here you want to show.
Yeah, this is the replay of Ubiquitous and Golden Soda here. Ubiquitous is way out the back. Golden Soda just had a nice little trip here. And they're both in this race here today. I think that Ubiquitous had the worst of it all, was just kind of trapped between horses. Golden Soda really didn't look like he had any excuse, although Psychedelic Shack was 3-2, but Golden Soda just hung a bit. I like the way Ubiquitous just ran on. You see him, he's the 8th there. Just wasn't able to seal the deal, but I think he just ran a better last effort. And also, this is the start of a middle pick 4 to get involved in.
Oh, you got a middle pick 4
I do have a middle pick 4 ticket today. Race 6, I singled with Accomplished Girl. This is the last time I'm picking this filly. I'm done with her after that. Well, I'll explain why in a moment. Race 7, a tough Tapeta claiming race. Non-winners of 3 lifetime. My top pick out of that is the number 7, Gloria's Tribute. Just going to toss that last race. And race number 8, again, a tough race here, a mile and an 1/8. A tricky distance here on the grass course. And my top pick, I'm going with the 11 King d'Oro for the Todd Pletcher Barn, $16.
I got my long shot in there with the 6 for the Chief. I'm glad you used that horse, 10-1 on the morning line. So that is a middle pick 4 this afternoon. That's right, when we got the
12 race card.
12 race card, that's right. So number 3, Royal Mahogany, is where I went. Moves to the Saffie Joseph Jr. Barn. After the claim makes his first start, he really held on gamely to defeat 22 lifetime claimers, going 5.5. It was on the Tapeta during December. The barn is, sharp with new claim.
Yeah.
Edgard's Eye is facing these 3 lifetime claimers. So stepping up, and, 7-5 to me is a little low on the board for this horse, but I think he can run well.
Yeah, he really can. He won his last start, but it was kind of life and death to do it, so that was why a toss for me.
Yeah, Golden Soda, Ubiquitous for all the reasons you just shown. I got the 2 on the ticket, too. And please note, there's a jockey change on the number 8. Make that rider Sebastian Saez will ride that. And a lot of our jockeys are out of town today in Louisiana, so but we have a great crew that stayed here today. I mean, if you can have Arad Ortiz, Javier Castellano, Edgar's Eyes, then the names go on and on.
Exactly.
We got a fantastic jockey colony here. So race number 6 this afternoon. Going to be sprinting on the grass. My maiden special weight filly, 3-year-olds. Scratch the 3, the 9, and the number 11 horse in here. And, you got as you said, you're going to give Accomplished Girl one more chance?
Yeah, just one more. So on debut, I really did like this filly, and we've got the work replay just to remind everybody how quickly she worked this OBS sale. She worked 9-3. Look how quick she is. She's like a deer running away from traffic. I love the way she just bellies down and just evens out in that very nice high cruising speed. She stamped her price tag for $275,000 that day. The first race she ran, she was the 3 out of the 12 post position and just got shuffled back. She has so much more speed than she showed on that debut. Then they brought her back for another race. I believe it was January 27th, and they saddle her outside of the walking ring, keep her away from things. She was very tough to saddle here. And then pre-race, they kept her away from the pony, and she actually ran off away from the pony and had to be scratched. Now, the rider stayed on and everything, but it didn't work out well for her. I hope that she behaves well today. Watch her in the post parade. If she's one that is not acting right out on the track, then I would just tear up my ticket and be done with it. But I'm going to give her another shot today, Ron.
Well, we got a stat. Maybe this will help you out with Saffie Joseph Jr.'s second start. Maiden special weight runners on the turf, sprinting. He's 3 for 11, 27%. 276 is the return of investment over the last 5 years. Doesn't do this very often, but when he does it well. So we'll see how she runs in there. I did go with the Balletic, the $450,000 daughter of Intermischief. I think is sitting on a winning performance after responding to both the addition of Lasix and blinkers with that second place finish. That was her debut. It's Todd Pletcher. It's Arad Ortiz Jr. And just looks like this horse is sitting on go.
Yeah, it really is. But I also thought that she probably should have won last time. She was very heavily bet, but I feel like she's just the breeding's there for the dirt run, and the fact that they tried her once and now put her on the turf, it almost kind of seems like a Hail Mary, like let's just put her here and see what she can do. She can win, but I wouldn't take a short price on her.
And we both used the number 7, Lexi Spirit, who was solid in defeat. She pressed the pace last time.
Yeah, she did, and I think she'll be right there again. Javier Castellano stays aboard, and we'll see how this second time sprinting on this course goes.
Yeah, she was third behind that next out winner, Sure Can, that ran okay.
Yeah.
And this is a daughter of Cantharos, an accomplished girl. We'll see if she behaves herself this afternoon, and that's interesting to watch. So make sure you check that out in the pre-race ceremonies to see what's going on and with the number 1 accomplished girl. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket.
This is a championship meet. Yeah. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. The sun is out. It's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day here. It's been beautiful all morning. Nice breeze and not as humid as normal.
No, which was good because earlier this morning it was very humid.
Yeah, it felt like that yesterday afternoon too. So I think that's the wind is taking it out. We have like a little bit of a cold front today. I think it's going to go down to 70-something or something.
Yeah, cold front.
Sorry about the people up north. And let's see my Rainbow Six ticket. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're going to get hit.
Yeah. This is 43-20 for me. We'll talk about the 7. I got lots of coverage in that 8th race. I like it. I went for the Chief, one of the horses that uses my long shot today, but I had to use King Dioro, Fayette Spirit. I got a stat on Coast Along. In race number 9, Venezuelan Triumph and Cash Your Check, both of those from Victor Barboza Jr. I'm going to single. I know it's a tough race for Kathleen O, but it's one of my favorite horses, and I'm going to stick with her today in the Royal Delta. And then the last, just 2 for me, and I like a Striller in that race, and I also threw in Calabrian Queen. So 43-20 for me. It's going this way instead. I get lots of coverage early on. And similar to you, you want to get this thing going today. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't see him, but he said this way. Oh, you still can't see him. That was good.
Yeah, instead of this way, it's going that way. So you're Italian. I got to talk with my hands in here. You talked about this horse with us yesterday, and you said you're not using him. I don't know if you ended up using him somewhere. I'm talking about free shipping.
Oh.
He's going to try to make it 3 in a row today after following his bottom level maiden score going a mile in the 16th with that upset score against the 2 lifetime claimers. Here's Bill Theranos again. He's either going to be partying all day long if he wins all these races, and Miguel Vasquez is going to go for the hat trick today.
Yeah, winning 2 on the Tapeta is tough in a row. Winning 3 in a row is extremely tough, and this was a professional maiden as well. I mean, look how many times it took him to finally break through, and it's not even the fact that it was just at Gulfstream Park. He had an out over this Tapeta surface and still couldn't win. Then won once finally, very heavily bet favorite, and then at 15-1 won again. I can't take him here. If he wins, I'm very excited. That's great. But
well,
no.
You did go with Glorious Tribute. You have Mike DiPaolo as your trainer, Javier Castellano.
Yeah, and I like this horse that has some tactical speed. If you just cross out that last race going 7 furlongs on the main track, it has good Tapeta form.
It's just a tough way to start the Rainbow Six because you can just see our selections up there. If you don't believe in the 3, and you just can't say I'm going to single the 3 because he's using good form.
No.
You got to use horses like the number 11 D Silo, who's hoping to find more firepower for the stretch run today. Rally between horses, finished 3rd. It's Fernando Abreu, who's got Red Ortiz Jr. and the horse that we had some interest in, the 12 El Socio, who breaks from the outside. Got to deal with that outside post, but ran well last time.
Yeah, really did. favorite, Sonny Leon, gets aboard here today as well, and he knows how to ride this Tapeta, so I don't worry too much about the post position.
Let's go to race number 8 this afternoon, and we've got lots of races today. 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf, maiden special weight. A 3-year-old scratched the 7, scratched the 12. You have a late pick 5 ticket you want to show?
I do indeed here, $36, a little bit of coverage in this race. In race number 9, I am singling with the 8, my best bet of the day, Venezuelan Triumph for the Victor Barbosa barn. Race 10, my top pick is the 5. That's Field the Beat in a very tough 5-furlong sprint. In race 11, singling with the 5 Classy Edition, I'm taking a stand against your Kathleen O. And in race 12, I don't have all in here. It's better to tell you what I didn't have, and that's the 11 Famosa and the number 4 Golden. Oh no, I do have 4. I mean 6 Algarcara. Australia is my top choice of the 2.
$36. Let's go to this race. And this I'm going to go with for the Chief stretches out. Solid turf debut. He rallied gamely between horses to finish second. He was only beaten a half length.
Yeah.
Sort of going to fall through the cracks a little bit here because of all the top connections in here. Fernando Abreu, Junior Alvarado atop the long stretch special today. I just thought this horse ran well. I mean, I understand I got the 11 and second King Diori stretching out. Looks like the one to be.
Yeah, it does. But the way that colt ran on for the Chief at the end of the race was really impressive. Yeah, King Doro will be tough. This was his. This is going to be his second time trying the turf, and he's just a big, grinding type of horse. I think this 1 1/8 in a tricky distance, he should really suit well to that.
Want to show you a stat on the number 5 Coast Along, which Shug McGay found this really interesting. Second starts roots on the turf right here at Gulfstream Park over the last couple of years. He's 3 for 10, 30%, 60% in the money. 372 is the return of investment. So you know this horse, with Javier Castellano running well. This is a great, great betting race in race number 8. Let's go to race number 9 here, and we got a 1.70 about distance on the Tapeta. Allowance optional claimant, 4-year-olds and up, optional tag 35,000. Scratch the 3, Ice Road, and Brian has a ticket that he wants to show you right now, and he did go very deep. We'll talk about the 9th in a moment. He's singling in race number 10, the 3 Exchange Day. In race number 11, he's also trying to be Kathleen O with Classy Edition, who's got that good speed.
Yeah.
And then the last wide open affair and everything. I'm glad he used my 2 Strilla in there. So seeing your ticket and seeing Brian's ticket, we went. Our ideas in the last couple of races are a little different.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see who gets bragging rights in the office when we get back there a little later on. So getting to this race, Venezuelan Triumph. You're single in here.
Yeah, and this is a horse that just has been facing a lot. I shouldn't say tougher competition, but was running in state competition and running well on the Tapeta here. Just a nice little local horse. And a fresh horse, which I like as well. A little bit since we've seen him a couple months.
And Victor Barbosa's trainer, he's also got cashier check that comes out of that same race as the other one. And I got a stat with both these horses, with Victor Barbosa Jr., a layoff of 61 to 180 days on the all-weather Tapeta, 5 for 24, 21%, 58% in the money. 261 is the return of investment. That's over the past 2 years. When you do it route races, it's even a little better. I didn't do it routes, just overall.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is a good angle for your single in there.
Perfect.
Race number 10 is going to be 5 furlongs on the turf, an allowance optional claimer for state-bred 4-year-olds and up. Optional tag is 20,000. Nice field of 9, no scratches in here. Let's go with your horse, number 5, Field the Beat.
This is a second off a Woodbine start here that I'm going to play this angle. Kevin Attard, Irad Ortiz, the trainer, the rider here. This is a race. I have no idea. It's such a tough race because a lot of these horses have yet to win on the turf. So I'm going to hope that this sticks here. And I think this horse has some ability.
Well, you make a great point for my top pick in here, the 4 Brits Candyman, because this one was stakes place, sprinting on the turf. Now, it was last year. It's going back to the grass. Dual for lead, yielded late against those open $20,000 claimers, condition claimers going 5 on the Tapeta. Bill Thoreno's claimed him last out. Emma Jane Wilson's going to ride. Yeah. Emma Jane's been riding in good form. She's got a couple of wins over the last few days. And I just think this horse, and what you said, I'm keying off a horse that's got some previous experience on the turf, and that's the 4 Brits Candyman in here. What did you see with the number 3 Exchange Day, which was Brian's single in one of his tickets here?
Yeah, and it's a nice single as well. 2 wins on this Gulfstream Park turf course, which is a lot more than most of these horses in the field here. Hasn't been on the grass in a while, but we'll see how it goes. I think this might just be a little sharp as far as the distance goes. I think this horse is more of a 5.5, 6 specialist, but I think that this horse has a solid shot.
Horse changing barns today is the 2 famous gent going to the Fernando Abreu barn after the claim, returns to the turf after a somewhat consistent 11-race campaign on the Tapeta. So this is the new connections have Javier Castellano name. It's a hard-knocking 5-year-old, but you make another great point. This horse, 11 straight sprints on the Tapeta.
Yep, and no turf wins to back it up either.
Yeah, so we'll see how that runs. Let's go to our feature race of the afternoon. 1 mile and 1/16. Fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. It is the $150,000. It is the Grade 3, the Royal Delta. And boy, it came up pretty tough, and it's a great race, and this could end up a Grade 2 next year if these guys really take a look at it, the Greatest Stakes Committee, because this is a good race. And Kathleen O, a perfect 3 for 3 on the Gulfstream main track. She includes victories here in both the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oats and the Grade 2 Devona Dale Stakes. Makes her 4-year-old debut the first start. She finished second. That was the 9-furlong Grade 3 calmly at Aqueduct. Shug McGay reads like this classy daughter of Upstart with Javier Castellano. Javier's been on this horse every single time the horse has run.
Yeah, and that's a nice connection that they both have together, and I think Brian spoke to him yesterday. We'll show a little bit later, but this is a very consistent filly. You can't knock her at all, and she actually ran really well in the Kentucky Oaks as well. She finished behind some monsters last year, 2 years back, I should say. You know, she's got a layoff to answer for, which I kind of worry about. This isn't the strongest barn as far as layoffs go, but with horses like this, sometimes it just doesn't matter at all.
You know, Classy Edition, yesterday in the Lightning Round, I showed this horse's last race, and I know you and Brian like this horse. Was second to the top choice last year, actually, in the Devona Dale. That was that 1-turn mile. Boy, this speedy daughter of Class of Empire was tough last time.
Yeah, she really was. And you could say, oh, well, she was kind of drifting in the stretch. I think just because she had nothing to run at. Nothing was with her. She was just kind of lollygagging around. She was impressive.
Yeah, she was very impressive, and she's the speed. There's no two ways about it. And, you know, it's not a gigantic field. Field of a 7. She's going to have the early going to herself if she wants it. I liked it. I keep going back to the 3 Midnight Stroll, who won the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks, at this mile in the 16th distance. Stretches out. First start since finishing third in the Grade 2 7-furlong Raven Run at Keeneland. That was a tough race. So John Terranova II is the trainer. I just found this stat interesting. Layoff of 61 to 180 days. Sprints to route on the dirt over the past 2 years. He's 3 for 4, 75%. He's in the money 75% of the time, of course. And 978 is the return investment. It's a good trainer. And this horse might end up sitting the trip if someone decides to run with Classy Edition early on.
Yeah, and if you don't have this horse picked on top, look, 75% in the money. Put it in your tries. You're super.
Exactly. I mean, that's the way I was looking at it. Let's go to our final race on the card this afternoon. I only went too deep in here, and both Samantha and Brian took every horse they could find that was left over at the track and put it in there. 5 furlongs on the turf, maiden special weight filly, 3-year-olds. Scratch the 1, scratch the number 3 horse in here. Hey, we both ended up with a Strillabut.
We did, yeah. And, I feel it kind of sucks for her now because she gets the rail, which is not a spot that you want to be with the 5-furlong sprint. And she's kind of got that running behind style. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of trip that Junior can work out.
She's a half-sister to a Grade 1 stakes place horse called Tell Your Daddy. She makes her debut. She sort of had an eventful mile in the 16 debut, and she was ranked tough to handle that day. I went back and looked at it. Billy Mott has the daughter of Mendelssohn working forwardly, which I like, but you've got a lot of questions got to answer because this horse was goofy in its first start. The number 10, Calabrian Queen, should be ready to offer more from Cassie.
Yeah, definitely. That was just the first start. They're always eligible to improve. Drawn outside last time, but the rails were further out that day. I think that this horse will be solid today.
And a horse I found interesting, I just want to touch on My Sweet Affairs, the daughter of Twirling Candy, debuting for George Weaver. Had a nice win yesterday. Lasix, Julian Leperoux named to ride. I think she's worth a look at a little bit of a price.
Yeah, she can. And George Weaver, not necessarily one that you put 2 and 2 with winning first out, but in a race where a lot of things can happen, it might be all right.
Well, we got about 25 minutes, so we're going to quickly go to our lightning round. I was going to call it lightning round. And we're going to start it off. Wanted to remind everybody, just a couple of weeks away, the Fountain of Youth. The tickets are on sale now, March 2nd, so make sure you come there. You see March 4th, 9 stakes races that day, and tickets are on sale right now.
Yep, it'll be here before you know it, so make sure to get them bought.
And the popular Coast to Coast is back today. And here is the schedule that we have. It starts in race 3 today at Santa Anita, which is 4:29 p.m. and 15% takeout. It's a fun bet. I know you bet it a few times.
Yeah, and I need your advice on Santa Anita again. This is the Santa Anita Master here, but the 2 races here from Gulfstream, including the Grade 3 today and the 11th. So it'll be a nice sequence.
Your best bet this afternoon?
It is Venezuelan Triumph. Yep, Venezuelan Triumph, race 9.
And my best bet, of course, is Kathleen O. I'm sick of my buddy today. Your long shot?
Accomplished girl, hoping that she can keep it under wraps today.
Yeah, accomplished girl in mine is in that really nice 8th race. It's for the Chief, 10-1 on the line. So see if that one can get the job done. Really nice race. And, we got a horse returning tomorrow for Shug McGay Radio Days. And this was so impressive. I want to go back and show you back. This is like last year in the, in the Forward Gale last year, and just had a bad start. And I just wanted to show you this horse coming through the stretch and ran well. I'm expecting this horse to run well. The competition is not. I think she's the one to beat. Put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. And if she can get a clean break, it'll be a tough race for her.
And as you talk, you saw our selections up there today. Today is Beat the Expert Day, and both Samantha and I are so glad Brian is the one you're going to try and beat this afternoon for these 12 races. So make sure you get in. You go to our website, go to the contest page, and it's absolutely free, and you got a chance to win one of those cool polo shirts.
Yep, and it's a nice card, too, so make sure to get online and sign up today.
We got to give kudos to our Spanish announcer, Pedro Casilla. Yesterday at Laurel, he picked all 8 winners on top. His best bet, his special one, everything. That is amazing. Congratulations to Pedro. That was, it's hard to do, believe me.
Yeah, it is. So congratulations. 8 for 8. That's good.
8 for 8. I hope I get 1 for 8 today. So great job by him. Congratulations once again to Pedro. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello with all the scratches changes. Of course, Brian's going to be joining us along with Claudia throughout the afternoon. It's going to be a great day. Make sure you get all your tickets, and we got lots of action this afternoon.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues, world-class racing, millions at stake. New champions will be crowned, only at first.